In the heart of Lagos, a young man named Dele Giwa worked hard to build a name for himself. He was a journalist who believed that the truth must be told, no matter how dangerous it was. After years of working with other newspapers, he and some friends started their own magazine called Newswatch. It was bold, fearless, and different. It told the truth about the government, the military, and the powerful men who thought they could never be questioned. Dele Giwa became known as the man who wrote what others were afraid to say. His words were fire. His articles made people think. They also made some people very angry. He didn't just write about politics. He wrote about the common man, the taxi driver, the market woman, the young student. He believed Nigeria could be better, but only if the lies were destroyed by truth. As Newswatch grew in power, so did the enemies of Dele Giwa. The military leaders didn't like him. He had exposed corruption in oil deals. He had written about missing funds. He even hinted that some military men were planning evil behind closed doors. One day, a man from the State Security Service SSS visited his office. He asked strange questions and gave strange warnings. Later that week, Dele was invited to speak with officers in Doden Barracks, where Nigeria's military leader lived. "Are you trying to start a war with your pen?" one of them asked him. "I'm only trying to start a conversation," Dele replied. His friends begged him to be careful. His wife, Tosin, said she feared for his life, but Dele smiled and said, "If we all stay silent, who will save this country?" Still, the pressure was building. His phones were tapped. He was called in for questioning almost every week, but he refused to back down. On the morning of Sunday, October 19, 1986, Dele was in his home at 7 Talabi Street, Ikeja, Lagos. He had just finished breakfast and was chatting with his friend Kayode Soyinka, a fellow journalist from the UK. His son Billy played nearby. Suddenly, the security guard brought in a brown envelope. It had Dele's name on it, clearly typed. It looked official. On the top left corner, it said, "Office of the President." Dele was surprised. He had not expected any message from the presidency. He looked at Kayode and said, "Let's see what they are sending now." He opened the parcel. Boom! A loud explosion shook the house. Windows shattered. Smoke covered the room. The smell of blood, paper, and metal filled the air. Kayode was thrown backward, but he survived. Dele lay on the floor, bleeding badly. His lower body was torn. He was still breathing but in terrible pain. Tosin rushed in. She screamed and held his hand. "Don't go, don't leave me." They rushed him to the hospital, but it was too late. Dele Giwa died that morning, a victim of the first parcel bomb in Nigerian history. The news shook Nigeria. No one had ever seen such a thing. A journalist killed in his own home by a letter? Who sent the bomb? Why? The government said it had nothing to do with it, but many Nigerians did not believe them. Too many threats, too many warnings, too many coincidences. Newswatch published a bold cover, "Who Killed Dele Giwa?" The police began an investigation, but it went nowhere. The SSS and the Directorate of Military Intelligence, DMI, was silent. Witnesses were afraid to talk. Files were missing. Truth was buried. Years passed, and no one was arrested. After Dele's death, fear swept through the press. Many journalists stopped writing bold stories. Some ran away from Nigeria. Others became quiet. But a few became braver. They wore black armbands and said, "If they kill one voice, 10 more will rise." Tosin Giwa and her children had to live without their father. Newswatch continued, but things were never the same. Every year, on the day of his death, people gathered to remember Dele. They lit candles, they read his stories, they cried. Many years later, students in journalism schools learned about Dele Giwa. They read his articles and said, "I want to be like him." He died for the truth. He wrote with courage. His pen still speaks. Though his killers were never caught, his legacy remains.